They opened the doors 8 years ago with 11 members and the odds stacked against them. Today, over 470 members, 6 employees, and they created something even more special, a family. Welcome to Elite Fitness, where they work just as hard in their community as they do in their gym. Let's go check them out.
Meet Victoria is presented by ThriveFuel.
Welcome to Meet Victoria, where we'll get to know the people, businesses, and heroes that make this community special. I'm Caleb Shaw, owner of Shaw Realty and your host. Now let's go meet Victoria. Welcome back to season 2 of Meet Victoria. Guys, we're pumped for this season. We appreciate you supporting us. We appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Today, like I said, we are at Elite Fitness and we are pumped to be here. I'm gonna be interviewing Richard Rodriguez, the owner, the mastermind that put this all together, put his heart into this. I'm also gonna be talking to some of the members about why they keep coming back, the amazing transformations they've had. And Coach John's gonna put me through a grind of a workout, show me what they're all about, show me how they do this. So I guess without further ado, let's go find Coach John and get this workout started. With Coach John. I'm a little bit nervous on this one. He's about to put me through the ringer, run me through a few sets of what they do up here.
Come on.
Explain the HIIT concept. I know that's very big on you all's workouts and one of your kind of core foundations here of what you do. Walk me through that. What is the HIIT workouts?
So what a HIIT workout is high intensity interval training. The biggest concept is we are trying to work at 100%, okay? And then we're trying to rest and then work at 100% again. All right, and what that does is it raises your, gets your heart rate up, which then raises your internal body temperature, which you're burning more calories. So that is our whole thing. Instead of running where you're at a constant pace and the heart rate's not getting up too high, all right, in HIIT training, all right, the main focus is to get the heart rate really, really high, bring it back down, rest and recover, and then work at 100% again.
Allows you to get in a little more longevity in your workouts and a little more intensity, I guess, yeah?
Yes, exactly. Intensity is the main focus, just in order for you to get as much calories burned in the amount of time that you have.
Outstanding. Well, you're gonna be gentle with me, right? You're not gonna, that's not how y'all do it here at Elite, huh?
We're gonna try. All
right, well, let's go put in the work. All right, we're back. As you can tell, I'm sitting in the rower. So, Coach John, what do we got going here?
So it's just like rowing a boat.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is you're gonna be grabbing the handles.
All right.
All right. From here, all you're gonna do is lock out your legs. From there, you're gonna pull to the bottom of your sternum.
Okay.
Full lockout. All right, and then from there, you're gonna come back with those arms and then bending those legs.
Okay.
All right, it's just like rowing a boat. All right, so coming, pulling, then coming back. There you go. So pulling, then arms first. There you go, the knees. There you go, arms first, the knees. There we go. And you just want to try to just make it flow together, just like if you were rowing a boat. Bam. There we go, good. Hey. Come on, the boy's a natural. Come on.
Ooh.
Come on.
Boy's out of shape. You can tell.
Look at that. There we go. All right, so the next thing we got is we got push-ups. All right, now for you, we're gonna go into a little bit harder modification.
All right.
We're gonna incorporate the kettlebells. What that's gonna do is increase the range of motion of the push-ups, which then again, all right, is gonna be working our chest that much more, okay?
Gotcha.
So whenever you're going, you want these kettlebells about shoulder width apart. All right, from there, all right, you wanna make sure that body stays nice and straight. Don't wanna arch that back. Don't wanna be having that butt in the air. All right, you wanna stay nice and straight, and you wanna keep that posture all the way down till you get as low as you can. All right, and then pushing right back up.
Okay.
All right, and just focus on keeping your posture, all right, and getting as low as you can, okay?
Roger that.
Because everybody's
Okay.
gonna be different.
Okay, yes, sir. All right.
There we go, good. As low as you can, bam. There we go. Perfect. Come on. Want to get that vein. There we go. You can go up and bring them down. There you go. And go into the next one. Bam.
All right, Coach John, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Great
No
instruction.
problem.
Great sweat I got going.
Hey.
I appreciate you, and thanks for what you do, helping people in here. I think health is important.
That's it.
And so thanks so much for it, man. You're doing a great job, brother.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll be back.
At Furniture Warehouse Direct, we pride ourselves in offering the best quality of affordable furniture in the Crossroads area. Come inside and shop your favorite brands or order direct from our website. We have multiple financing options to get the furniture you need in your home. Why pay retail? Buy direct at Furniture Warehouse Direct and FurnitureWarehouseDirect.com.
All right, gang, we are back with Richard Rodriguez, owner and CEO of Elite Fitness here. Brother, what made you, first and foremost, before I even get going into the questions, thank you, man. I had a lot of fun up here. Your staff, your team, and your members are just, they're second to none, man. They put in the work. It was inspiring to see. I saw some of my past clients in here that have made some amazing transformations and stuff. And you know, that's a reflection of what you've built here, man. And
Thanks,
so first
man.
off,
Thanks.
congratulations. Like that's really cool and neat to hear. You've got a lot of going on in life right now. But before we get to all that, walk us through, you know, how you got here, the early days. What made you wake up and say, hey, at a young age, I want to start a gym?
Yeah, man. So actually, when I was a junior in high school, I was in my science class, and I realized I wasn't really intrigued with everything going on when I was in the school thing going on. But my parents, or my family growing up, none of us were really healthy. We didn't have that healthy lifestyle or anything. Long story short, man, my sophomore year, I blew up my knee, put on some weight throughout that process, and came back to play my junior year. Wasn't playing as good as I wanted to. So I was like, all right, let me try to see what I can do, you know, physically. Let me make some adjustments on some other things. Started learning a little bit about the eating right, got real fit, and I started playing some of my best football. But then the flip side of that was I was able to reflect on my family and realize, like, man, no one in this family is really healthy, just generationally. You know, if you go to my great-grandparents, to my grandparents, all the way down, there's some kind of disease or weight issues going on. And so I wanted to help my family out with that. As I was going through the journey, my dad jumped on, ended up losing 100 pounds going into my senior year. Wow. Jumped on with me, and that really inspired me and got it, like, I love this. I can change someone's life just by doing this. It wasn't bad. So, you know, from there, I went on and I tried a semester of college. Wasn't quite for me. Going in, I knew I was very fortunate because growing up, my dad never really pushed the college thing. He had this thing. He's like, I don't care what you do. He's like, I don't care if you're a garbage man. You just better be the best garbage man in Victoria. That is his number one thing. He's like, I don't care what it is. You just have to be the best. Tried the college thing just because I felt like that was routine. That's what you're supposed to do.
What you're told.
Yeah. I was like,
how you're successful. You go to college, right?
Yeah, you got to.
Don't think twice about it. Yeah.
Exactly. It didn't take long to realize that wasn't for me, man. Like, I wasn't going to pay for something I didn't enjoy anymore. And I really had a lot of passion for the fitness thing. Right after that, man, started training people at the track while I was waiting tables. I moved out of the house when I was 18, so I was living on my own. And
so you started training people about 18 years old?
At 18, yes.
Okay.
At 18. Actually, my first client was while I was in high school. So my senior year of high school, I only did half day. I finished all my credits and everything. And I had a teacher whose son was a little overweight, and she wanted me to work with him. So that was my very first actual client besides my dad. Went on from there, tried the college thing. Wasn't a big fan, but with that, man, I started training right at 18 while I was doing the college thing. Went to school, and then I was waiting tables at the same time. And
Hustling.
Yeah, I was trying to get after it, man. At one point, I was stripping and waxing floors overnight. It was awful, man. It was a time in life that I reflect back on, and I'm like, yeah, because I was like, man, you know, I want to get this thing started. Can't really afford equipment, have bills to pay. To me, I look back and I was kind of dumb. I moved out as soon as I turned 18. Wasn't the smartest thing in the world, you know.
But it taught you independence, though, because if you move out, you kind of got to make it then. You know, you don't have your parents to fall back on, and I'm sure you had their support
for sure.
But you move out of that house. It's on you now. Like, you're an adult, basically. It's time to go adult.
Yeah. There's no, you know, and to me, I was kind of prideful back then. There was no going back and asking for help. You know, it was like, all right, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna figure it out. So yeah, man. So at one time, I was going to school in the morning, stripping and waxing floors at HEB overnight, and then waiting tables during the day, a few days a week. Not the funnest experience. And then after school, I would go and start training people. Did get a job at a gym when later in my 18s, and I met a guy, a good friend of mine who owns a local business here in town. And I always told him, like, man, I would really love to do this on my own. I don't want to work for somebody. I love training people. I really want to do it on my own, really want to do it on my own. I was saving money at the time. And finally, he just, he'd plant a seed here and there, and eventually he was just like, man, I'm tired of planting these seeds, and at some point you got to start watering this thing, and you got to make it happen. And it kickstarted, man. I was like, let's do this, and we got our first building, which was 800 square foot, and that was actually down in 2013. So at that time I was 20. So I had 2 years of, I actually branded Elite when I was 18. I had 2 years of branding Elite through other gyms. So I worked inside of Flex when it was here. I worked inside of Pure, and I just had the Elite Fitness name. And then we ended up taking that, and we got our first official building in 2013.
At 20 years old?
20 years old. We officially opened up and branded the name. Just turned, or it was actually 4 days from my 20th birthday.
So a few things from that is one thing I just kind of want to hammer is your college experience, because I agree with you on that. Like it was ingrained into us from the time we were little, probably into our parents and everybody before us, is you go to high school, you go to college, and that's the route you do. I don't necessarily agree either, because there's square pegs that you're trying to put into round holes there, vice versa, and and there's lots of industries and careers, and these plumbers and electricians making $75 to $99 an hour and stuff, and they're talked down to, and people make fun of them for that. When you have people go and accumulate hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt and can't get a job afterwards, and somehow that's normal, and the guy that's making $99 an hour being a plumber, he's the dumb one somehow. I never understood that, but it also takes conviction and belief in yourself and your mission to reject that traditional ideology and say, hey, that's not for me. Like, that's not my journey. I've got to blaze my trail. And so that I just wanted to say I agree. A lot of people hear that don't go to college, and it's not that you're saying don't go to college,
for sure.
That wasn't for
that's
you.
Not what I needed.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, I had a friend that actually went to a really good college out in Austin, man, for the same thing I did. For the same, we wanted to be in the same field. 4 years later, I have a business established, coming off the ground, and he's, coming out and can't get a job in that field. Now he's very successful now doing his thing, but it's just not in this field, and that's what he really wanted. That was his passion. So you can kind of see both ends of it. But like I said, man, I was very fortunate with the way that my parents raised me. My dad, my dad kind of engraved that in me of. Hey man, it's not a necessity. He always taught the hard work thing. If you work hard, you can get it done. And the flip side of that is kind of where me wanting to start a business became very important, was he works really, really hard. My dad never had a college degree, and he runs a multi-million-dollar business now in Houston. So he's doing very well. But with that is I didn't get a lot of time with him growing up. He was only, because his business was in Houston, he was only in town 2 days a week. So the flip side of me wanting to start my own business was like, man, family to me is always going to be a priority, and I don't want to have to work myself to death forever. I want to be able to be there to play catch with the kids and be at their football games and everything that's important. Working, I learned real quick, man, kind of working for someone else, it wasn't going to happen, especially in the fitness world, because the hours here just naturally are going to be really early mornings, really late nights. So building my own business, building a team around me, which was extremely important, was key.
So at 20 years old, when you go to open the doors to your first official gym, this is your baby, your business. What kind of adversities? I would assume right out the gate, 20 years old, people are going, why would I go to a 20-year-old?
Exactly.
Why am I getting, what are some of the adversities that you faced of that mountain of, my doors are open, how do I succeed here? For
sure. Man, right off the bat was how do we get someone to trust a 19, 20-year-old person for this? And this isn't a $10 a month gym. At that time it was $100 a month. So it's like, okay, how can we make that happen? That's number one. Number two, there's been no gym in Victoria that has stayed open, that have kept its doors open for 15 plus years, if you ever think about it. The longest was the Gym X to Flex transition.
Wow.
But no one has made it 15 years straight. So now you're fighting I guess it would be the demand of it in Victoria. Is there even a demand for this kind of gym at this price for what we do? And right off the bat, my dad just being a business guy, that was one of his biggest worries. And one of his things was like, no one's done it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Can you feed your family doing this? Can you, so those were probably the two biggest things outside of financially, of course. We were just scraping dollars. We opened the doors with 11 members, which was just enough to pay the bills, but I still had bills at home. I still had to eat, So I would pick up a side job here, side job there, in between. And at one point, man, I almost just called it quits and went to, my mom used to be a principal at VISD, and I used to I almost just went do security guard thing and train on the side because it got rough. But
how did you keep your mind and your spirit and your motivation going? Because there are peaks and valleys and highs and lows, and you know, as an entrepreneur and a business owner myself, I've had moments where I just want to toss in the towel as well, and I didn't. But what was your mindset, or what kept you going, and knowing that the odds tell you you're going to fail?
For sure.
The odds are stacked against you. The like you said, nobody's made it this long. Nobody's done all these kind of things. You're young.
Yeah.
You know, all this. What made you decide to say, forget all that, I'm going to do it anyway, and I'm going to be successful? What kept you going?
I surrounded myself around people that were very like-minded and that have been through those adversities and made it. Once I turned 18, man, I decided, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I went through about a year and a half to where my whole group, my whole circle changed for about a year. Everyone I hung out with in high school, I no longer talked to. And it wasn't fully intentional. It partially was, but just the route I was going and the route they were going, there was just natural separation.
Right, understood.
For sure. And then, you know, so for about a year and a half, I was growing myself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, just all the way around to preparing myself. And next thing you know, I'm surrounded by like-minded people who have been through those things. It's kind of funny because at 21, 22 years old, my best friends were 45 years old, 50 years old, but they were doing what I wanted to do, just in different. And
they've fought those battles already, and gotten to a place in life where you can almost look to them as mentors to emulate that success and that hard work, and see that it is possible to get there.
For sure. And when they saw, like, man, I'm struggling, and they remember what that was like, and they wouldn't let me fail. And so surrounding yourself around, you know, like-minded people that have been through it and that are there with the proper intentions.
Outstanding.
It's worth it.
Well, and I noticed one of the reasons you popped up on my radar was your community involvement.
Yes,
you know, I like doing that type of stuff, and we recently hosted a kickball event to benefit a deputy here in town, and you guys showed up in force. You know, we had that kickball tournament, and you guys brought out a powerhouse team. You got second to the firefighters, but man, it was a fun day, and it was neat to see the community support, but that runs deep with you guys. That's been one of your things since you started. And I know when I was talking to a few of your members about this story and doing the episode on you guys, one of the things that they told me was they know everybody's name when they walk in there.
For sure.
And it makes us feel special because they take the time to learn us, to learn our goals, to learn the victories that we want to achieve, and the hurdles that we have to get there. They take that personal, and they want to see us with that victory. But it goes beyond the walls of this gym. And that was one of the things that I thought was neat. Tell me about Hurricane Harvey. That story to me, and what you guys did with your members here, that's a really neat story. If you wouldn't mind telling me really quickly about that and how you guys pulled together and what you did after Hurricane Harvey. Yeah,
man, so that's really where we made the transition from like just being a gym to being a community within a community, for sure. Hurricane Harvey hit, man, and just we lost all electricity in the gym for 2 weeks. So there was a 2-week period where we didn't have the opportunity to gather anymore and, you know, to do our thing. But what we did was we reached out to each of our members, and we collected everyone, and we went to each of our members' houses that either, you know, a tree fell on their house or they were having any kind of damages to their house. And we took whatever skills we had. We had people that can do windows. We have people that can do, you know, siding, roof work. And we took our skills and we helped each other rebuild the houses within our own gym. Very special time, man, because that's where, again, we came from a gym to a community. No one complained about making their payments to the gym. No one cared. And we took all that money and we put it back and gave it back to our people. It was a very special time, man.
That's what's hard to capture that a lot of people don't get, was that bond, that like what you said, that transition, that we went from being a gym to now we're a family.
Exactly.
And we ride or die, and we're together, and we lift, you know, high tide raises all ships, and that fires me up, because when people see that mindset and they get that iron sharpens iron mentality and that accountability of, you don't show up today, I'm calling you and I'm asking why you're not there.
Absolutely.
And I genuinely care about why you're not there, because your success is my mission. And,
for sure.
And that's cool to me. What is your thoughts on community involvement? How much of a play is that, you know, what kind of influence is that into your business, and does it provide, you know, do you think it's important, or is it just something you just happen to do and, well, whatever?
No, man, we think it's extremely important. It's something, to us, it's so important that we actually take 10% of whatever we bring in as a company, and we give back to the community on a monthly basis. Now, of course, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, some of the bigger events will add up 2 months, but we budget separately for giving back to the community. It's a huge thing, man. So from Hurricane Harvey to I know we do like the Special Olympics is a big thing for us. Winter Wonderland that VISD hosts, we always play a big part of that. And sometimes if it's not financial, if we don't give back financially, we go in and we volunteer. Our staff and our coaches will be a part of that. This year's been a little different because of the COVID thing, but you know, we'll definitely jump back on board. Every Thanksgiving, we do a huge, our members will come together. We'll buy the food. Our members come together and actually cook everything. Because there's a lot of families out there that don't have stoves, don't have access to, you know, to a full kitchen and can't eat for whatever reason. Christmas is another big one. We get a hold of students and kids around the VISD area or kids that we know that are struggling. And if the parents can't afford gifts for them, they give us the Christmas list, and our members actually buy for those families. And we have a big tree up here with gifts, you know, underneath all the trees. And Christmas Eve, we'll go hand them all out to the families.
Well, I think that's awesome, and that you guys are able to touch so many lives and just spread that gift of love and support in your community. I mean, it's important. I know that you've got some personal things coming up that I want to get to in just a second, but before we do, what does the future hold for Elite Fitness? What are your goals? What are some of your dreams that you'd like to see in the near future?
For sure,
happen?
man. So over we actually bought this building a little over a year and a half ago, man. It's been a journey. I love it, but I would definitely like to see us expand outside of here. The more we grow, the more we can give, the more we can be a part of a bigger community. So our growth's been amazing, man. I would really like to. There's actually a 25,000 square foot building that I'm looking at right now. I would love to be able to get into over the next 5 years. And outside of that, man, it's just help and reach as many people as possible. That's really important to us. We just started adopting where we're reaching out to a bunch of middle schools, and we're trying to make sure that kids don't go without a meal or if they can't afford it. A big goal of mine is by the end of next year is to make sure that we can do that for all middle schools. So if a kid goes in and they can't afford their meal, they don't just get that packaged sandwich, and that the schools can completely do away with those because it wouldn't be needed. So that's kind of my next big goal over the next 2 years is to make sure that we can provide for all the middle schools, and then we'll just continue to go from there.
That's outstanding, man. And when you do get ready to buy the building, I do know a real estate company that'll be perfect for you, Shaw Realty. No, but speaking of, I had to get that plug in. It was there. But so now talking about expanding and growing, I understand your family, by the time this episode airs and the public gets to see this, there's a really good chance that you're going to have some big news that going on in your world. You want to tell me a little bit about what's coming?
Yeah, I have a little girl on the way. That's exciting.
It is, man. Yeah, that's first one?
First one.
First one, and yeah, wow. And she's going to be boarded to a whole gym of people that care about her and want to see, talking about joining a big family, boy. She's about to do that.
She has no idea what she's getting into either.
Good deal, yeah. But you know what, though, man? I'm excited to see the parent that you're going to be, and I know you and your wife will do great. And when you have the type of support that you've built here with this family, you guys, it'll be neat because she'll feel the love from so many different people, and so I'm very proud of you. It's been cool to see your accomplishments, and thank you again for supporting our mission when we do stuff, and know that we have your back, and thank you for what you do for Victoria, man. I'm a big fan of your mindset and what you bring to this town, and the iron sharpens iron, brother. I buy into it and I believe it, and you were leading from the front, and that's what we need in this town is leaders. And so thank you so much for your time. Thank you for allowing us into your gym and all of that. You guys, you set the bar. And we appreciate it, and we're proud of it. All right, guys, stick with us. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to some of the members that call this place home and let us know why they keep coming back.
From early on, I found a huge love of the outdoors. My favorite part of being a child was going out to my grandparents' ranch, feeding the cows and fishing in the tanks and running through the pastures. There's nothing better than being outside, in my opinion, which is why I love this part of my job so much. Keep me, Corri Urban, in mind when you start looking for that ranch, farm, or recreational property. Give me a call at 361-649-1357. I promise I will find the perfect property to suit your needs.
All right, Alina, I just saw that workout you put in. I'm impressed and a little, I don't want to mess with you. You were doing good out there.
Thank you.
How long you been coming here?
I started, I believe, about 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yes.
What keeps you coming back to this place and sweating all over the place and doing all these crazy things?
Well, it's a great start to my morning. It's a great stress reliever. It helps me get me mentally prepared for the day. with just having something to come to, having people that can motivate you, keep you going. Everyone in here has the same goal, wanting to be the best self, wanting to be their best self. And so having those people around kind of keeps me in a positive mood.
So really kind of an iron sharpens iron type of things where you
Exactly.
guys just all make each other better.
Exactly.
Awesome. Have you seen big transformations, big jumps and leaps in your health since you've been coming here?
Yes, definitely. I first came here weighing at least 30 pounds more, and I was having back issues. So that's the reason why I first stepped into the gym, thinking that maybe a little bit of weight off my skeleton will help my back more. And it ended up being that I haven't had back pain in a couple of years, so it really helped.
So that quality of life has definitely gone up then.
Yes, definitely.
That's outstanding. What would you say to people that are on the fence or thinking about coming in here? Maybe they're scared, nervous, and walking through the door the first time is always the hardest. What would you say to somebody that's sitting on the couch, kind of on the fence about this, that's thinking about coming?
The hardest part is just taking the first step. Once you're in here, it's the people in here are motivating. They keep you going. You're not alone. There's also, you come in and there's 2 different classes. There's a fundamental class, so you can just kind of get your foot wet.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you can dive in a couple weeks after that.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much for the kindness and the generosity.
Of
You
course,
guys,
of
again,
course.
you've done great, and it's really empowering and just to see you all just kick butt like you do. So thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time.
Nice
Have a
meeting
blessed
you.
one. Yes, ma'am. Take
You
care.
too.
All right, Ms. Nidra, thanks so much for talking to me today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me about Elite. What makes this place so special to you?
Oh my God, everything. So interpersonal. It's really just a big family. We all just continuously push each other, motivate each other. We just love on each other, make sure everybody meets their goals. Big family. That's hold it dear and near to my heart because, you don't find that at every facility.
Yes, ma'am.
So often you find criticism, you find people down talking other people, and we just love on each other, and it's a big family.
That's awesome. How long have you been coming here?
I've been here, this is the 3rd location. I've probably been here over 3 years.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. What kind of transformations have you seen or jumps in your health?
In my health, when I first started, I was about 220 plus pounds.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And right now, I'm down to like 170.
You're not playing, are you?
No.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No games.
How do you feel with that? I mean, obviously, it's great to take that weight off, but have you seen does that just change your everyday life? Does it make life better?
It's a mental thing. When I first started, I was very self-conscious. I was hard on myself. My appearance, and when I started to see those results, it really just boosted everything. I just became a more positive person, inside. It's not more so about the outside appearance. It's really about your mental and inside, how you feel about yourself. So,
I agree, boosting that confidence.
Yes.
Wow, and look at you now. You know that journey can be inspiring to others and to help others to take that step of faith.
Absolutely.
And because it is scary to go out that first time
is.
and do that, but they look at somebody like you that's done this, and here you are putting in the work, but you've had those great milestones. Like that's just, I'm so impressed by that. If you had a piece of advice to give somebody that was thinking about coming or struggling with weight or any of these issues where they're just not feeling that confidence, what would you say to them?
I would just say, you have to believe in yourself, first of all. You have to find it in yourself before you can accept any advice from anybody else. So definitely just, taking that first step. If you find a facility that you really love, I think that's key.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that's what I did when I came here. I had been to many gyms, but once you find that group of people who really believe in you,
Yes, ma'am.
You can continue and you can prosper.
Outstanding. Well, I could not agree more, and thank you so much. Your story inspired me today. That's really awesome, and I look forward to seeing you in a couple months and seeing what you do then. It's a
Absolutely.
great job. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Yes,
You
ma'am.
too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with my buddy Steven here. Man, you can tell he put in the work today, burned those calories, got the sweat in. How long have you been coming here, my friend?
I've been coming here for about 8 years now. Came in 2012. I started with Richard when he was off of Hiller Street.
Nice,
And it
back
was
in the early days.
Back in the early days, and he, had about, I want to say 6 to 8 members at the time. The time I came in, I've always come in 8 o'clock. And there was only me and maybe another girl that started here, and we've been here ever since.
So things have changed a little bit, to say the least.
I mean,
huh?
it went from us doing, it's called XT rows, to I mean actually doing things like this. He only had like a box maybe that we would all share on, and then he didn't even have, you know, somewhere to run around, and we had to go to stop signs and running back. So, you know, doing the runs that we do around here, we didn't even do that. We had to run down the
cool
street, run from the dogs, man. We had to run from the dogs.
Man,
Let me just
it
tell you.
made sense, and you know, and I probably burned off a few extra calories, shaved that time down a little bit, running from the dogs. But what keeps you, you know, starting there, running from dogs? You know, when you have nothing, to sticking with it for 8 years to be here. What keeps you going?
I would say the atmosphere here. It's always a home feeling. Everyone has those plateaus where they go and they do the most that they can, achieve their goals, and then they fall off. I've done that, you know, who hasn't? And it's always him saying, hey, it's been a week, hey, it's been 2 weeks, why haven't you come in yet? You know, he makes it real personal to get you back in here and to make sure that you set new goals and you accomplish them. And them and the coaches all set that same atmosphere and the tone.
That's awesome,
when you
man.
come in here, yeah.
What kind of achievements have you seen or transformations in your health over that 8 years?
Stamina. I mean, when I first started, I think I was doing wall balls, man, and I remember, I'll never forget this, I had Tokyo Grill the night before and I ate fried rice. I mean, I think I did like 3 or 4 wall balls and I chunked everything up and I was like, dude, and Richard was like, hey, just keep going. You know, if you feel yourself that you can't go no more, you know, you can come to a stopping point. It was like my 3rd day, I think. But it came from that to being able to do everything I just did today within 4 minutes. I mean,
yeah, and I didn't do all of what you guys did today, and I'm still over here catching my breath. So I definitely, you know, respect that and know that growth you're talking about. If you had to give some advice to somebody that was nervous about walking in, or you know, they're walking through that front door, it's hard for a lot of people, what would you say to them?
I would say don't be intimidated at all. You have a fundamentals class that they're going to break everything down to you. And mind you, when I was coming, we didn't know what to do. I mean, he was in there and he showed us one thing, and it was like they didn't break down. They didn't have the knowledge that they do now. They educated themselves and they got themselves to make sure that you don't hurt yourself. If you do too much weight, they don't let you go over the weight that they feel that you can or can't do. So everything is broken down to you now, and it's not like you get thrown in there and it's like, hey, good luck. You know, don't break your back. They're going to teach you the technique. If you're wrong, they're going to stop you and they're going to really break it down. So don't be intimidated. Come in here. We're all going to accept you no matter what. As far as that, you know, come in here, set a goal, and we're going to motivate you to get through.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate you guys letting me tag along and join. I was very impressed by the hard work everybody put in, and I look forward to seeing where you guys are in another 8 years, man, because you're killing it, brother.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see you later.
Yep.
All right, Elite Fitness. We came, we saw, we conquered. Guys, I was just completely blown away by the kindness in here, the camaraderie, the teamwork, and the way everybody lifted each other up and really strived to make each other better and to have that iron sharpens iron feeling in here. And they've really done well. We were thankful and we appreciate them having us in. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. That really helps us out. Thank you to our sponsors, and we'll see you guys on the next one.